Hello and welcome to day 9 of the English transformation quarantine class. This live class that we're doing, or I'm doing, every day during the coronavirus lockdowns, I suppose. At least every day from 9 days ago. I'll probably do it later as well. So, if you have anything that you would like me to cover during these live sessions, just write a comment and in later videos I'll do that. And why am I doing it? Well, I'm doing it because lots and lots of people have been affected, whether that's very seriously through illness, which I hope you get better from very soon, or economically and financially. So lots of my students have lost their jobs. It means they can't study. The schools have closed, so equally they can't study. And many have been treated a little bit unfairly, you might say, by their school or maybe even by the government with lack of funding and told to go home, which sucks. So I thought I would do my little part by going live every day at 9:30 in the morning, Gold Coast time, Gold Coast Australia time, to give you a little bit of continuity and support or something, and equally for myself, so that I don't become a vegetable at home doing not much at all. So let's have a look. Today I'm going to be answering a question from Jackson Gomez. I don't know who you are, but sent me a message on Facebook, very probably Brazilian, asking me about if and when. And also Kaz. Good morning, Kaz. Good morning, Alex. Kaz asked about a very similar question using if as well. And that was related to another video a day or two ago where I talked about using if and should. So I'm going to answer those today. I should probably say what it is. I can't remember what it is. So we'll have a look here. Well, I will have a look. If special rules, that's right. So let's have a quick look. Change that from my daughter's nice pink color. So what we will look at today is that light's very bright, isn't it? Let's change that a bit. That's ever so slightly better. What we'll have a look today is if some special rules, not all of them. Some special rules. Everyone likes special things, so stay tuned for that. If special rules and if reduction. Oh, hang on. I got a bit excited. Lost. Looks like Instagram doesn't go live today. That's a shame. Sorry, Instagram. Anyway, Instagram. If special rules and reduction, or you might call it inversion. We'll have a look at a little bit of the rules to that and how you can do it. This special rules will be when. That's for you, Jackson Gomez. We'll also have a look at another couple of phrasal verbs. Why not? You should probably be learning a little bit every day. So that's why I'm here, a little bit every day. Just 2 phrasal verbs and 1 or 2 idioms as well. Just to keep your learning going and growing. And remember, I'm not sure if you can see here, it says action beats anxiety. Action beats anxiety. That is a motto to live by. Action beats anxiety. So whether that's studying for a test you're doing, or worried about your job or your finances or your health, take action. You stop being worried, because worry doesn't help anybody, does it? Worry gets you a haircut like this. So stop worrying. Excuse my voice. And look at this. I'm not sure if you can see that in the light, but there are lots of little red bites on me because I was in the garden changing my garden yesterday. Not fun. So let's go here and have a look at if. Sorry, we'll also have a look at Q and A, questions and answers and error correction. Question and answers and error correction later on. You can just ask your questions at any time. Hello, Jennifer Caro. How are you? I mean, hello, Jennifer Caro. How are you? You can ask your question at any time, and I will get to it. You can write some examples, as many as you want, and I'll correct them, or at least I'll do my best. Cool? And I have to say, Kaz, Alex, Jennifer, every day you've been here, and maybe there are other people, but every day you've been here, and it makes a lot of difference. It means a lot to me, so thank you so much. All right, let's go here and have a look at if. Cool. So we'll have a look at this if. It's if, but it's kind of present tense as well. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send that to here. Bear with me just a second while I send this. Let's send it to my iPad. Notability. Let's open. We'll go there. Good. Import. Let's see if this works. Just moving something over will get well away from that, well away from that, and we will get well away from that. Should we do that? Yeah, we'll do this. All right. Beautiful. Then it saves time and I don't have to write it because I'm lazy. And I'm not that lazy, but you know, I am doing this. Let's use green. Green is good. So this is part of the English Mastermind grammar sessions, which I will be doing every day at a different time. But I just want to give you a little bit of a taste and answer any questions that come up. And so this is in answer to Jackson's question. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. So when you're watching this, thank you for commenting. This says present tense. Now your question, it included if and when. So it says here, we can talk about things that always happened or always happen. That's true, right? We've got here some different words we can use instead of when. So I can use if, and I'm going to write some more examples down there. If I went to the beach, I wore a hat. So we can use, Jennifer, I don't know if you are in Australia or you ever have been. And if I have taught you and I don't remember, I'm very sorry. But Kaz and Alex, you have. So now you are in Brazil and Japan. You could use this sentence to talk about your experience in Australia. If I went to the beach, I wore a hat, right? And I could do it now in the present. If I go to the beach, I wear a hat. It's always true, right? That's why we've got the simple tense here, the simple past, the simple present. Instead of just when or if, I could use each time that. Each time that I watched my daughter, I smiled. Now I do that now, of course, this is when she was a baby. In the present, each time that I watch my daughter, I smile. It's always true. I can say, if I watch my daughter, or if I look at my daughter, or whatever. If I watch my daughter, I smile. When I watch my daughter, I smile. Each time I watch my daughter, I smile. Anything that always happens. When I drink beer, I drink Asahi. It's the only beer I drink, so it's always true. For example, I could use every time. Every time that I learnt a new word, I wrote example sentence using it. Cool. Learnt and wrote. Every time that I learn a new word, I write example sentences using it. So now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth one there, whenever. Whenever I went to a school barbecue, I had a great time. Alex and Kaz, you could say, whenever I was in Paul's class, I had fun. If I was in Paul's class, I had fun. Cool. Went and had, go and have. Just let me know in the comments, just write in the comments if that makes sense. Maybe you could write your example. Kaz, you're in Japan. Maybe you go to a sushi restaurant and you could say, when I go to eat sushi, I eat, I don't know what you eat, aburi salmon, maybe. If I go to sushi, I eat this. Every time I go to a sushi restaurant, I eat this. Whenever I go to a sushi restaurant, I eat this. It is true. It is true. That's right. So yeah, it would be cool to see your examples about this. This sort of thing that you're learning, or that sort of thing that you can see there, if you do these things, if you have the ability to use when and if and each time and every time and whenever, well, that gives you a wider range of grammar and vocabulary, let's say. It's easier to understand native speakers. You can paint a better picture, right? If it doesn't make sense or you need examples, then hopefully you can ask me, of course, and I will do my best to explain it. Cool. That doesn't mean that every time you do it, you could maybe be able to swap all of these words. The majority of the time, yes, but English is a rubbish language. There are lots of rules and there are lots of exceptions, so, be careful. Wow, so many expressions, says Kaz. Yes, so many expressions, my friend. Lots of different ways to say lots of different things. For when, for because, for although. Lots of different ways that we can say these things. And when we do that, we have better language. So that's what I'm going to teach. So the example that Jackson had was, why would, let's do would, why would you live anywhere? Why would you live anywhere else if, when you can live in Australia? Why would you live anywhere else when you could live in Australia? Now, I don't know, remember actually, sorry Jackson, if you put when or if, but you could do both. Cool. You could do both. Jackson, I hope you're watching. No questions. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to put your questions. That's the best way for you to learn. Well, one of the best ways. There are lots of good ways. Your contribution is only going to help more, right? Hopefully that helps. There's another bit there, actually. We could do this bit. We can have a look at this as well. This bit here, you know, a lot of people that write IELTS tests or whatever it might be that I see every day, or I did until my business dropped, thanks Corona. A lot of people make mistakes with the tense when they are using when or talking about time. It's very important to write complex sentences, of course. I'm going to just use when. There are lots of different ones that we can use, but I'm going to use when to make it more simple. And this is the thing. Let's move that down ever so slightly there. All right. If you are talking, let's go green again. If you're talking about the past, in the dependent clause, remember, we've got dependent clauses and independent clauses. The independent clause can be used by itself. So if I say, my wife made me a cup of tea, that's okay by itself. Cool? Of course, it's a little bit strange if I just say without context, my wife made me a cup of tea. That could be a bit strange. But it's okay by itself. If I say, when I got home, by itself, that is not okay. So depending on your punctuation, maybe you're going to write and make mistakes. However, if I'm talking about the past, and I use the past here, when I got home, the end, the second part of the sentence, needs to be in the past. Oftentimes people make mistakes. If I'm talking about present, when I get home, well, it's my wife makes me a cup of tea. And then another way is present, dependent clause, when I get home, and now I'm talking about future, my wife will make. So when we're thinking about writing bigger sentences and talking about time, we have to think when, past and past, present, 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 future. Cool? You really should write examples based on that. And then it gets a little bit harder because we have different words which mean when, and then they only work in specific tenses. But again, I'll show you that another day. So much stuff to do. No questions, guys? Must be super simple. Hopefully it is. Like the example is simple, so you get it. But you get better when you write. All good? Do we have any questions about that? Bum, 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 bum. Let's put that over there. Let's go to there. All right. Well, we looked at if, didn't we? Because I then ended up doing it a different way. Let's go here. Let's try not seeing that. All right. Kaz. What was your question, Kaz? You sent me an email, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look at that. Where's that? Did you send me an email? You did. All right. I'm not going to read the whole question, Kaz, but I got a little bit. Should, conditional. If you should have any problems, just ask me. I did do that. And we can remove if. So, I wrote this sentence. if you should have any questions, just ask me. If you should have any questions, just ask me. Cool? And then I changed it to should you have any questions, just ask me. Cool? And what did he say? When do we... Oh, that was a different one. Is it just a lure? I'm not sure what that means. Sorry. No, it's not just a lure. Can you explain why we can do that? Okay, so here's why we can do this, and a little bit of the psychology behind it. Because your words, and here comes motivation, your words paint the picture, or somebody else's words paint the picture, and what you say to yourself can come true, can make things good or bad, right? And what other people say as well. So this is why we do it. If I took out should, and now my sentence is, if you have any... I should write questions, shouldn't I? Come on, Paul. If you should have any questions... Sorry, I've taken should out. So the sentence is, if you have any questions, just ask me. That maybe puts in my mind I will have some questions or problems or something like that. Just that conditional. It's got the present tense verb, so I think maybe I will have some questions. It won't be as clear as it could be, the conversation or the explanation. But if I have should, for native speakers, that should kind of makes us think that we won't have any problems or questions. Does that make sense? So people that might be using it, let's say at a hotel, if you check into a hotel and the person says, if you have any problems, just let me know. Okay, that's fine. But I might say, if you should have any problems, just let me know. It's a tiny, tiny difference. It's super tiny. Like the bloody midges that bit my arm. Super tiny, but very effective, right? So that's why we use it a little bit. And it can mean other things too. Now, we've got should. Should you have any questions, just ask me. So we've inverted it and we've reduced it a little bit. So this is what you do. These are the rules behind doing that. Wait. We'll put inversion rules. The conditional, the if clause, the conditional must start with, let's put a capital because it must start with if. Now I know that seems strange. Of course it's a conditional, it should start with if, but there are other words that we can use instead of if, and then we can't do this. So, the conditional must start with if. Good. In our example, it starts with if, right? Lucky us. Then, the conditional must have an auxiliary verb. The conditional must have an auxiliary verb. Something like should, could, all those sorts of things, right? Were. Kaz, quickly bring you up here. Should is the emphasis, isn't it? You can say that. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. So, in our sentence, does the sentence start with if? Yes. Does it have an auxiliary verb? Yes, it does. Cool? So, what do? We remove if. We'll delete if. Here, there's no if. Cool? So we've removed if. But if I only remove if I've got you should have any questions, just ask me. Well, that looks terrible. You should, besides my awful writing, you should have any questions, just ask me. That's just rubbish. So we don't want to do that. What we do now is swap the positions of the subject and auxiliary verb. It sounds very complicated. It's really not. Of course, when you're learning, it might be, but you are smart, right? We swap the positions of the subject and auxiliary verb. Well, up here we've got subject, and here we've got auxiliary verb. So we'll swap them. Now we've got should you have any questions? Should you have any questions, just ask me. Fantastic. Ooh, look at that. Does the conditional start with if? It should. Is there an auxiliary verb? It should have that. Remove if, swap the positions of the subject and the auxiliary verb, and then you are left with that. Now I'm going to give you a quick sentence to change. Super, super easy. Should I? I'll make it even harder. I tell you what, you write an example. You could use should. Write an example, show me that example, and we'll see how we go. You don't have to, of course. It's not a police state, but it would be nice if you did write an example. It will help you a lot. Any questions? Questions or examples using should? There's a lot more to it. Can I give you something else as well? What's the time? Plenty of time. All right, Kaz, you said, wow, so many expressions. Yes, so many expressions. So if you guys are writing some examples or thinking of some sentences that you would like me to correct, if they need correcting, or you are thinking of some questions, then please write those now. While you're doing that, I'm going to show you something else about if and another special rule. another special rule. And this one is only if. Only if. When I show you this, I'm going to show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things, right? What it means is one situation is needed for another to happen. One situation is needed for another situation to happen. And this often happens when people offer you things. Not only, but often. It often happens when people offer you things, or you might offer them something. Let's say a drink, for example. So I might go to my friend's house and he might say, would you like a drink? Like a beer or something. Natalia. Cool. If I remember any question, I'll let you know. Fantastic. Natalia, could you rewrite that sentence with should? It means happen by chance. Should means to happen by chance. Could you rewrite that sentence with should? And then could you use inversion? Just see if you can. And thank you for your comment. All right, let's keep going. If there are more questions, I will get to those very, very soon, if I'm smart enough to answer them. But I think I might be. So, I'm at my friend's house, and my friend has said, would you like a drink? A beer, or a whiskey, or a coffee, or whatever. I might say, if the pen will work, I might say, what would I say? I'll say, if, actually I won't bother doing that, you're smarter than that. I might say, only if you are having one. Hey Paul, would you like a drink? Yeah, only if you're having one. Only if you are having one. We would use one as reference or substitution. It's a pronoun referring to drink, because I don't want to repeat drink. In your textbooks, everything's always repeated, but we don't speak like that. Now I'm going to be a textbook, sorry. So my sentence might be, only if you are having a drink will I have one. Now, why can we do that? Oh, there it is. Sorry, Instagram. Let's go live for a little bit on Instagram, because I just accidentally found my tripod. What a silly boy. So, the sentence on the screen says, only if you are having a drink will I have a drink. Now, that's a little bit more of inversion. So, well, why can I do that? Let's go here for Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. Oi! No. Sorry. Go live. Go live just for a bit. They missed out. They should be on... Good God. You want to see that, do you? No. Delete. Go. Live. You don't want to see behind this camera. Well, actually, probably you do want to see behind this camera, but I don't want you to see behind this camera because it's an absolute mess. Anyway, here we go. All right. Instagram, sorry you missed us for about half an hour because I forgot where my tripod was. So there you go. Anyway, we're learning about conditionals. So the example on the screen is, only if you are having a drink will I have one. And that is because when a sentence starts with only, we can use inversion. That's swapping the subject and verb inside the conditional. Cool? All right, hang about. Sure, should I have any questions, I'll let you know. Natalia, fantastic. Should I have any questions, I'll let you know. Beautiful. So when we use only to start a sentence, we can use inversion. If you have a drink, I will have a drink. If you have a drink, I will have a drink. We change that to only if you have a drink, will I have one. Only if you have a drink, will I have one. Cool? If that doesn't make sense, let me know, and I'll do my best to help it make sense, help you understand. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because there are other words. Let's go green. There are other ways of saying only if. There are other ways of saying only if. Now, when you are doing your IELTS or TOEIC or TOEFL, particularly TOEIC, this can trip you up, can cause you to make mistakes or be confused. And nobody wants to be confused, do they? And they are, so we've got only if, we've got, let's do a different colour. Let's use that. We've got so long as. We've got as long as. We've got providing that. And we've got provided. We've got provided that. That is optional. So, only if means one thing is needed for another to happen. All right? It's about the best example, explanation I can give. If we start a sentence with only, then we can use inversion. Then we have different ways of saying only if. We have so long as long as, providing that, and provided that. You only need to pick a few, and it might very well work. Hello, 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 Lucas, Jen, Diego Torres. Get on YouTube. Or TikTok. I'm not on TikTok at the moment. Instagram, if you do have any questions, please ask. You probably should be on YouTube because it's a much better experience for what I'm doing. Otherwise, you just get to see my pretty face talking about grammar and not showing you any. Hello, I'm Carolina. Sorry to butcher your name. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now I'm going to write a sentence and see if you understand that sentence, if it's correct or not. So you tell me if it's correct. Let's go with this one. I'll tell you what. I'll write a question, and you can answer the question. Let's see. My brain needs to think a little bit hard. No, I don't want to do that. We should put wash hands because it's super important at this moment of coronavirus. It's important to wash your hands. So, all right. So, this is something I might say to my children. And we've got A, B, C, and D as choices. I'm going to choose that one there. I'm going to use that one there. I'm going to use this one here, and I'm going to put so you're not really going to be able to see this, my friends. Let's see if you can. God, I'm nice. I'm so lovely. That's the question. And it says, something, something, you wash your hands, you can have dinner. Something, something, you wash your hands. Sorry. Something, something, wash your hands, can you have dinner? Can you have dinner? Is it A, B, C, or D? Now, it's really, really simple. So you can put your answer, of course, or not. Now, I'm going to change that. Beautiful. Joa. Hello, dear. First little class. Thank you for the hello, dear. Generally in English, we don't call men dear. Ladies can call men dear. Men can call ladies dear. Ladies can call ladies dear, but men generally don't call men dear. I'll accept it because that's really nice, but be careful. If we stay at home, we will stay safe. Apparently so. Apparently so. Who knows? The answer, of course, is C. Super simple. Only if you wash your hands can you have dinner. Cool. If I had changed that and put, let's change that bit, you can, we'll take this out as well. Cool. If I changed it and put like the gap, you wash your hands, you can have dinner, I would have to change that too. Let's take that out. Now we've got a slightly different question. Well, let's go down there so you don't see the mess of my study / bedroom. It says something, something, you wash your hands, you can have dinner. Now, which one is the example? Which one is the answer? Is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? Is it provided you wash your hands, you can have dinner? Is it only you wash your hands, you can have dinner? Is it only if you wash your hands, you can have dinner? Or is it so long?
Hello.
Hello, mate. I'll be a couple of minutes, sweetheart.
Okay, can I be in it?
In a couple of minutes you can, yeah. All right, there we go. Oh, you might have seen the secret behind the camera. Maybe there are two answers. Over C and D. Let's have a look. C and D. Hello, Overseas Life. How are you? C and D. All right. Well, it says there, that bloody red thing. We don't want that, do we? It's not a giveaway. Let's go here. C. It's not C and D. Now, this was a bit of a trick question. Hello, Leonardo, on Insta. It's not. It was a bit of a trick question, just because I made a mistake. But the answer is provided, because it's provided that, right? Provided that here. Provided that you wash your hands, you can have dinner. That would be cool. Only if you wash your hands, you can have dinner. Only if you wash your hands, can you have dinner. So it's not that one. It's not only, because there's no condition. And it's not so long, because it's so long as, as long as, providing that. Remember, that is optional. Provided that is optional. Where's that? Hello, sorry. Ali Schneider, hello teacher. In which cases we need to use provided? Well, if you want to use only if, which means if one thing will happen if another happens, you can use only if, provided that, or providing that, as long as, or so long as you can see on YouTube. So Natalia, I hope that answers your question as to why it's not C and D and why it is A. A little bit of a trick. Oh, so funny, Paul. So tricky. Do we have any questions? You might have questions about that. You might want to write your own examples. I think you should. And that will help an awful lot. Tatiana, hello from let's see either Colombia or Venezuela. Sorry. I should know a lot more. So questions, go in once, go in twice, not so many actually. Let's go there. Let's go down here. All right. I'll just give you a second or two to ask some questions. Should you have any questions, you can write those. Let me open that photo. Colombia, thank you. Sorry, that's desperately ignorant of me. Ali Snyder, you're very welcome. Rose Ezekiel, hello. Long time no see. All right. What should we do? Phrasal verbs with. Let's go list. Thanks for those hearts. That's very nice of you. YouTube, do you have any questions? I really want it to be interactive. I wish you would ask questions. Looking for some decent, can I think of decent phrasal verbs for you? Nah. Hello, everybody on there. Let's do breakdown. Oh, we have a question. Let's put you down there. Let's put you here. Hopefully I understand the question. When we use a conditional like if, in the first part we use a comma, then we use a verb or auxiliary verb. Yes, that's right. If is first, you're in conditionals, you want a comma in between them, right? Usually there's a subject. Hammer out. Yep. Yes, Leonardo, hammer out can be. I'm not sure how you're using it, but yeah, hammer out can be. I can write that very shortly. Jennifer, When we use a conditional like if, in the first part we use a comma, then we use a verb or auxiliary verb. I'm not sure exactly where you're going with this, but I'll give you an example with that. Because oftentimes people say that conditionals are if plus subject, sorry to get a bit mathematical on you, if plus subject plus a verb, comma, subject plus verb. Now, of course, it depends on, is it the past tense verb or a present tense verb or a would or a should or a could or something like that. I'll get to you in a second, Leonardo. Thank you for your questions. So that's what people say conditionals are, right? But sometimes it's, if I write this sentence, if the house is on fire, get out. Right? If the house is on fire, get out. We use that little bit. Simple, right? Just the base verb. There's no subject because it's obvious. So it's this imperative. The imperative mood of, if we're not sure imperative, I'll teach that another day. Otherwise, I'd be here for 24 hours just teaching grammar. So that kind of is what you wrote, Jennifer. I'm not sure if it's what you meant, but that's what you got. So there you go. Cool. What time do we have? 50. Wow, I've got to go soon. All right. I'm going to use this phrasal verb, actually, from Insta. Let's go down there. Good, good. Haha. Cool, cool. So Leonardo asked about hammer out, this phrasal verb. It's hammer out. It might be hammer something out or hammer out something, of course. And it means, in the business case, of course, it means to arrive at an agreement. So usually on about details in business, a business agreement, who is paying what, who is doing something, what deal do we want? We really need to hammer out a deal, to arrive at an agreement or a deal. Let's hammer out the details, because it's just hit, 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 back and forth between lots of people. It doesn't mean arguing, but it's just discussing these details to come to an agreement. Cool? Usually in business, not about what we're going to have for dinner. We wouldn't do that. Cool? Hopefully that makes sense. Good, good. Before you put you can have dinner, was it a conditional? Let's go back then to conditionals. Fantastic. In the example before, you put you can have dinner. Was it a conditional? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Let's go back here. Where did I put it? Yeah, provided that you wash your hands, you can have dinner. Because provided that is another way of saying only if, which is used as a conditional, right? If you don't wash your hands, you can't have dinner. If you wash your hands, you can have dinner. And then we use only if to say this must happen for this to happen, right? Only if. It's just an extra thing that native speakers can use that students usually don't, and that's going to help a lot. Hopefully that answers your question. And when we use this only if, that's now better than just using if, but we can go that next step and use providing that, so long as long as. Cool. This is higher level stuff, but I think you guys you could try. What time do you start your lesson this week? All right. Sorry, we're going to Instagram now. Maria, I started my lesson at 9:30, but I couldn't find my tripod to hold my phone, so I didn't go on Instagram, and then I found it behind me. I had a man look, which isn't very good, but it's there now. So you can go to YouTube. In my profile after this, the link will be there for YouTube. You can go and watch the whole thing. It's a lot better, I think. Rose, Ezekiel, I love your class. Thanks a lot. Thank you a lot. That's very nice. All right. Jennifer Caro. Cool. Yes. Thank you so much. I am cool. My mum says I'm cool, so it must be true. Hello, mum. Love you. All right. And we got phrasal verb. Hammer out means to arrive at an agreement on the details of something. Cool. And then any other questions? Or comments or something? And then I'm going to have to go and get my kids because they want to be part of this. God bless them. Let's go here. Good. Oh, I like this. Yeah, May, you can come in, darling. Let's quickly do this. You say hello to people on there.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
There you go. All right. Can you close the door for me, darling, please? This is awful writing. An idiom. Here, you can sit on me, darling. You want to go outside? All right. Good. This idiom is twist someone's arm. Twist someone's arm. And it really means to convince them to do something. And we often use it in a little bit of a sarcastic way. Well, I do because I'm very sarcastic. So if somebody asks me, hey, Paul, would you like a beer? And I might say, oh, okay, you twist my arm. You've convinced me or made me do it. What's twist, May? Do you know twist? Well, that is my arm, but what's twist?
Like this.
Like that? Okay, and if you twist my arm, ow, 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 so strong, mate. If you twist my arm, I'm pretty much going to do whatever you ask, right?
Slow arm.
So
It says slow.
it doesn't say slow arm. It doesn't say slow arm. S-O means someone.
I thought it was slow.
Slow? What's a slow arm? Like this?
Yeah, slow arm.
And that's a quick arm?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Well, you don't have to watch. All right. Look at that, May. He even spells your name correctly. He's a genius, isn't he? Hello, May. Cool. All right. Good, good, good. So, twist someone's arm. It means to convince them. Now, May, what are we going to do? Are we going to do hangman? All right, right now we're doing a bit of hangman. May is going to do a word. You are going to guess. Insta, you guys can't guess that word.
There you go.
What's that? Maria, what's the name of this lesson? The name of the lesson is Day 9 of live coronavirus lesson, but it's about inversion of conditionals. So there were just some conditional rules that I wanted to teach, and that's what we're doing. What's that down there? Count finger? Maybe we'll do that later. Are you alright, baby? Are you winning? Remember, we've got to be quick and as efficient as possible because these people are spending their time watching us. They don't want to watch you thinking of a word. Shall I do one for you while you think? Alright, I'm going to do one for May while she thinks. I am still going, mate, that's right. Alright, May, are you thinking? I'm going to do a word and May is going to choose. There we go. It's 5 letters. Let's see how she goes. What do you reckon, May? There is an A. No, there is no A. Yes, there is an E. 5 letters. Last one is E. What are the other vowels, baby?
Is there an I?
Is there an I? No.
Is there a O?
Is there an O? Yes, there is an O. Something, something, O, something, E. What's another vowel? The last vowel.
U?
You? Me?
No.
No. Hang on, I spelled it wrong. There you go. That's a little bit because I spelled it wrong. What an idiot.
Is there R?
Where is Lily Rose? We'll get her soon. No, there's no R.
Oh, it's a mouse.
It's a mouse. I can't believe I started to spell mouse wrong. What an idiot. Alright, have you got a word that you can do quickly? Is your brain blank?
No.
How about choose a food or something? House, it wasn't house, my friend. Just a second while you're doing that, May. Entertain these people.
I get to sit on the comfy chair.
Lily Rose.
Now, what should we do? I don't know how to entertain you. It's hard to entertain people. Maybe I'll draw a picture.
Come on.
See, I drew a picture to entertain them. I didn't know how to entertain them.
You drew a picture to entertain them. That's beautiful. Lily, can you close the door, please, darling?
Okay. I have to guess what it is.
All right. Can you say hello, Alex? Into that camera. Say hello, Alex.
Hello, Alex.
Good girl. All right. A. Is there an A, May? Thank you, Jennifer. Is there an A?
Yep.
Yes, there's an A, a very small one. C. Is there a C? And you can guess the letters, guys, what you think it is. Oh.
K. K.
What other letters do you think are in there? Is there a K? Okay. What else?
S.
S. Is there an S?
No.
Is there a U?
O.
Hang on, baby.
There's no O and U.
No O and no U. Oh, Lily, we're going to die. Is there an... I?
Wait a minute, there is an O.
There is an O.
E. Right there.
Where's the O?
And there is an E.
And there is an E. May, come. Really?
E.
You've spelt it wrong, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I think you might have.
Wait a
Might
minute,
have. Might have.
Check.
Is it big animal that's green with snappy teeth?
No.
All right.
It's not
Okay.
crocodile.
Oh, okay. I got it. I got it. Of course, you know how to spell crocodile. Lily.
H.
H. Lily says H.
No, you said that.
All right. I said that.
T.
T. And Lily, what letter does your name start with?
L.
Ah, look,
Yeah,
Alex got it.
chocolate.
L. Alex, you get $10 million. Not from me, and I'm not sure when, but $10 million coming your way. Hello, Rocks. How are you? How is everybody? But I know you. All right, Lily, are you going to draw something?
Yes.
Yeah, come on then.
You're going to draw your teddy.
All right. So Lily, you draw a food or an animal, and people are going to guess what it is if they have that vocabulary. All right. So Lily's going to draw something now.
She's drawing a pink cow. It'd be pretty hard to guess.
On Instagram. Sorry that it was late in the day of the class.
Then when did that
I forgot where my tripod was. However, you can go to YouTube shortly and watch the whole thing. Everyone on YouTube, thank you for spending your time with me. I am planning the proper grammar series and IELTS series. But I'm a bit lazy too. So let's have a look at this picture that Lily is drawing, and you guess what it is. Come on, baby.
It's not a pink potato.
Is it a food, Lily?
Yeah.
It's food.
It's healthy.
It's healthy food.
Is it a carrot?
Should it be pink, or is that just your favourite colour?
It's supposed to be pink.
It's supposed to be pink.
Is it ham?
A pink food, all right?
Is it meat?
Just wait, babe.
Is it a sweet potato? Is it a sweet potato with broccoli on top of it? No.
What food is that? Now, you guys can't see this, but let's see if we can... Go on, Lil, keep going.
No, it's not a potato. Well, it doesn't look like a pink potato, though. Doesn't need to be coloured. Yes, it does.
Radish.
Yes.
Radish?
Oh, radish.
How do you know radish?
That looks like a carrot radish.
Right, leave it there, Lil. How do you know radish? Oh my God. All right.
Because I remembered it in my head, and sometimes I can actually go in my own dream.
You can go in your own dream?
Sometimes, but it doesn't work now.
All right.
I don't want it to be.
A radish. Wow. I think that's pretty good, Lil.
Okay, you're good.
I think a radish looks a little bit like a heart. No?
And has lots of roots. That's supposed to be purple, not red. That's a love heart, though.
It's a very bad love heart. I think a radish looks a little bit like that.
Except it doesn't have those white splodges on it.
Might be. But that radish is... Maybe your radish is better than me, Lil.
No, it looks like a submarine with a broccoli on top of it.
A potato. It wasn't a potato. It looked a bit like a potato.
Yeah, it looks like a pink potato.
All right. That'll do for now.
Who said potato?
Thank you very much, Instagram. It's a little bit harder than YouTube for you to enjoy because you just have to look at me and listen to me. YouTube is the way. It's the way. It's much better for you to learn this class. You can see a lot more. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, you can see a lot
if you're
of
happy to
Lily's
join this way, I'm happy to have you. And YouTube, thank you again. For those of you who are just joining a little bit, thanks for coming. For those of you who join every day, it means so much to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you next time. All right. Girls, can you say goodbye? Lily, to that camera, can you say goodbye?
Bye.
Maychan, can you say goodbye to that camera? All right. Guys, see you later. Thank you very much again. Bye-bye.
Can I play Hangman?